So basically, so I've washed my face, my hands are clean, I've moisturized, everything's like prepped and ready to go. So this is optional, but I'm just gonna go into the primer. This is the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base. I just take a little bit of it and put it where I tend to get oily, because it's competition makeup, so you want it to be like you're gonna be sweating in this and you want it to be able to stay on all day. So then I'm just gonna take my Real Techniques blending sponge. This is honestly a really good dupe for the Beauty Blender, which is like $36, and that's a really ridiculous price for a sponge. So this is like, I think it's like $5 at Rexall, and it's really good. So I'm just gonna start out by taking my foundation. I use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, and I'm just gonna put that on my sponge and start just blending it into my face. I find that this is the best way to put on foundation, just because it absorbs into the skin and it's the most natural looking way possible. You want to make sure you blend down the neck, because when you're on stage, you're exposed to such harsh lighting that you just want to, if you didn't color match properly, it could look really weird on stage just because you're so exposed. Then I'm going to grab this Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, and I'm just going to, this is like in a shade way too light for me, so I'm just going to put it on the high points of the skin, just places I want to highlight, because this is going to help out with our dimensions to our face when we want to put the darker stuff on and we start to contour. So again, just going to blend that out. I feel like I make the weirdest faces when I do this stuff. Now I'm just going to go in with a concealer. I use the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It's super thin, but full coverage. I love it. Typically with concealers, for stage makeup, you should go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your normal skin foundation, just to, again, help with the highlighting effect. It'll be super helpful later on, just so you can see where you want to place the darker colors on your skin. So just blending that out. Try to avoid dragging motions, because it thins out the makeup and it just like takes away everything that you just applied. So now that we like went in with the makeup, you want to set this all, so you don't want it to go anywhere while you're dancing. So I just take, you can use any sort of setting powder you want. I use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It's loose, and what I like to do is bake the under eyes. So I take some loose, just the powder, and I take my damp sponge and I just pack it on there like that, and I just set the under eye and the T-zone with all this powder that is going to keep it on all day for the 800 dances that you're going to be doing, and make sure that it stays on. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't get oily. You could honestly just take a brush and set it, which I'm going to do. So you just take any brush and just coat the face in all of the powder that you are going to need to absorb. Okay, so now that we have our base down, you basically just want to go in with some sort of contour color. I'm using, oh my god, what the heck? Okay, I'm using this like huge Morphe palette, and I'm just gonna choose this color right up here. I don't know if you can see that color right there. And I'm going to, okay, in the picture it's like really dark, really gray, and like super defined features, but since you are going to be having other dances, I would suggest just doing your regular like competition makeup. So take your contour color on any sort of flat definer brush you have, and we want to put it right in the hollow of our cheekbone right there. So basically, I don't know if you can feel that with your brush when you're doing this, like feel it with your finger and just start to apply it into the socket of your cheekbone. And you want to just bring it on a diagonal down, like you should be able to feel it. Another tip for if you get a little sloppy doing this step is you can take your beauty sponge with a little bit of extra powder on it and just underneath clean up along the line, underneath the contour. And remember that this is stage makeup, so you do want to do it a little bit darker than you normally would be. Obviously not the little girls, they're not applying makeup, but then you normally would be applying. Gotta shut the door, it's real awkward, don't want people to hear me. Then you normally would be applying your makeup. Then I'm just going to take the same shade and go around the forehead and the perimeters of my face. Alright, now that that is done, I'm going to be moving on to blush. I'm using the Jaclyn Hill face palette. You could use any sort of red tone pink blush. I'm just going to mix these two together and place that on the apples of the cheeks and just blend it back. You want to make sure that you don't have a lot of product on your brush initially, because you can always build it, because the worst thing is to just look like you got smacked inside the face by a truck. Okay. Now that that's done, okay, so I'm going to apply a highlight just because I love it. I'm taking Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill and Becca Cosmetics, and I'm just going to glow to the gods because I love it. This step is obviously optional because you don't need to be highlighting, but I just love it, so I'm going to do that. This is honestly my favorite part of any makeup look. And now before I go ahead and do anything else, I just like to grab any sort of setting spray for your makeup and just like spritz it all over my face. It keeps it locked in all day, and I just find it helps a lot with making everything look natural and when two become one. So I just like to do that before anything else, because I find that if you have a lot of eye makeup on, it'll smudge it down because you are wetting your face. So just let that dry. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my eyebrows off camera because this is gonna be like a really important step in the makeup look, because she does have super dark and defined eyebrows that kind of merge into the eyeshadow and into the nose contour, so I'll just go ahead and do that off camera. So this is the finished look. I look a little bit crazy, but hope that was helpful.